Today is day 2 of our open source SOC solution. So today we are going to implement the SOAR platform, and that is again another open source tool called Shuffle. So we are going to automate every flow starting from the creation of an alert in SIEM and then creation of the case and incident as well in the Hive, then run the analysis on Cortex, sending the message to team, sending the email notification to our group and whatnot. So this gonna be a real fascinating episode, guys. So we are gonna implement the full automation workflow using another open source solution called Shuffle. So the workflow will gonna be something like that. We are gonna attack one of our endpoint, we are gonna do some SSH brute force, and we are gonna show you that how that attack is originating on the endpoint, how that alert is getting created on your SIEM solution, and how the alert is getting pushed to our Hive console, and how the case has been created, and how basically the analyst can look from a SOC perspective. So this is gonna be the full overview for you guys. So in our previous episode, so we have created the full SOC solution. Now this time it's time to implement the SOAR platform and do some orchestration, and we are starting right now. Okay, so the first thing first, so what exactly we are trying to do today? So in our previous episode, we have basically created the overall architecture what open source SOC might be interested to look into. But today we are going to add some kind of orchestration platform in terms of a tool named Shuffle. Shuffle is also an open source platform and open source solution. You can use it. So what we are going to do, we are going to orchestrate all the actions. So the alert, then the ticket creation, then the observable analysis, then the posting the message in Teams, on channels, or anything like doing some email and all those stuffs, and we are going to automate everything. Okay, so first let me show you what exactly I mean by the automation. So this was my GitHub repository and it has been added with the new feature. So if you come to this section, so we have added the installation of the Bits agent, and we have added the Shuffle installation guide as well. Okay, so here is the Shuffle, the SOAR workflow that we are going to walk through you right now. So basically what exactly we are trying to do here. So let's say we have received an alert on Elastic SIEM. So that is our the SIEM solution, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna push that particular alert through a webhook into our Shuffle tool. Okay, and once we done that, we are gonna collect everything from Shuffle and whatever the information that we are gathering from Elastic SIEM, and we are gonna push that information to the Hive, and we will say the Hive to create an alert. Okay, so when we mention a Hive to create that particular alert, so that means each and every alert that is generating on your Elastic SIEM, that will be visible on the Hive as well. Okay, so your analyst might not need to look at thousands of tools. So the Hive will be your central case management solution or your central SOC. So your alert keeps on coming onto Hive, and your analyst can create case on top of it, and we are gonna automate that as well. Okay, so if I go back to my screen, and so the next step is that whenever we created that particular alert, so what we are gonna do over here, so we gonna create another step, we are gonna create another web action and to webhook to Hive as well, and we are gonna say to add the observable. Okay, so the first thing, create alert, then it will create the observable. It could be anything like IP address, it could be anything like domain information, anything like username, anything, doesn't really matter. Okay, so the next step, once the observable has been added, so we will ask Hive to create a case out of it. Okay, so that means it's now an incident. Okay, so you can create different workflows dependent on your case management or your incident response procedure. procedure, but it's a simple diagram that we want to show you today. Okay, and also what we are gonna do, we are gonna create a simple workflow to post a message into our Teams channel, which is our Black Pearl Teams channel that we have. So we gonna let people know that hey, there is an alert came in from Elastic SIEM, so that people gonna see it in some point of time, and once the alert has been created and add the observable has been done also, so we are gonna post another message to our Teams channel, the same Teams channel, and we are gonna, after creating the case, we are gonna email that details to our Outlook. So we use some Outlook observable, so it's like something like sending a detailed report to your management team or something like that. Okay, and we are gonna add another workflow over here. So whenever add observable has been done, we are gonna add, or we are gonna ask Cortex to run the analysis on its analyzers, right? So in my first episode, so I have shown you guys like how basically you guys can create different kind of analyzers and enable them in Cortex. Like we can enable MISP, we can enable threat intel, like Intel Owl, Virus Total, Shodan, everything, right? So in this particular workflow, we are gonna automate everything, and first I will show you how basically you can install Shuffle, and then I will go through one by one, and we are gonna run a SSH brute force attack in one of our instance, which is installed a bits agent on top of it, and we will show how the alert basically flows from Elastic SIEM to Hive. Okay, so the architecture is like pretty much simple. You can build on top of it as well, but if you need our help, so reach out to us anyway. Okay, so now comes the fun part, guys. Okay, so let's begin to the technical thing and let's see how you can install Shuffle. Okay, so if you do a simple Google search writing Shuffle automation, by the way, so you can get every link from our GitHub repository as well. So you can come here and you can just see the Shuffle automation install guide. Okay, so we have jotted down the information how you basically can install. So the official installation channel is being posted over here, so you can come here and you can check out like whatever the things that you need to do, or what are the other steps that you need to provide. Okay, but we have debriefed the steps for you. So let's consider you will have definitely an instance on which you want to install Shuffle, right? So you just need to do SSH, you need to quick upgrade that particular machine, and you need to pull down Docker Compose and docker.io. okay, because the Shuffle gonna run its backend and every other information on top of Docker, right? So it's like kind of prerequisite that you have Docker installed on your box. Okay, so once that is done, so we are gonna pull down the Shuffle repo, and we are gonna go inside that, and it's pretty simple. So you are gonna change the database, and then you gonna run the Docker Compose up and D as a daemon. So you just need to run that particular process as a daemon process, right? So this is some troubleshooting step just you can follow, and once your system is up, like your Docker is up anyway, you can see it from Docker PS, and you can access your browser the Shuffle instance from here, from this public IP address, and 3443 is the default port. Okay, so now we have this particular thing up and running. Now if you see here, so we have that particular IP address. So this is my Shuffle IP address, which I am logged in now, and I am running in on AWS. And so let me quickly log into that particular box as well. So this is my Shuffle instance. So I'm gonna quickly log in, and I'm gonna quickly show you the states that you might be looking into it, or you might be interested as like how the Docker things works, and like the very basic thing. Okay, so I'm logged into now in machine. So if I do okay, let me first clear up my screen, and if I do quickly netstat minus ltpnd, so that should give me like on which service my system is listening on. So you can see that it listening on 3443. Okay, so if I quickly do Docker PS, okay, so I need to do a sudo. So if I do a quick sudo docker ps, now you see there are things running. So this is the Docker, the container that is running the Shuffle front end, and this is running the Shuffle backend, right? So which is an web app, by the way, and the Ouroboros and other stuffs are already like the prerequisite of Shuffle. So that's make it very interesting, guys. So, and you can see here, so it is forwarding the port on 443 to 3443. Okay, so you can simply check out your IP address, and then you can just point to that 443 location just to identify whether it's up and running. Okay, and another thing is that if you just want to do a quick troubleshoot whether your Shuffle is running or not, so this is your Shuffle front end, right? So you can grab this particular container ID over here, and what you can do a quick sudo then docker then docker logs, then this particular in container ID, and then you can simply run follow. Okay, oops, so I missed the command. Okay, so after this, docker sudo docker logs options dot container. Okay, so right, so docker logs, if I write simply like this, yeah, so you see the logs has been provided over here, so you can anyway troubleshoot and you can understand like whether if it is running properly or not. Okay, so these are the simple steps to troubleshoot any Dockerized container. But now let's go to our full demo and let's see what exactly we're gonna do over here. Okay, so before even doing the workflow, so this is the screen, guys, that you will get at first login. So you need to create your workflow from over here. So I have created my Elastic SIEM flow that I was showing you in this particular repository. Okay, so this was my Elastic SIEM overflow. I'm gonna show you and I'm gonna give you the overview how basically this thing basically works. Okay, but before even doing that, first let me open the Kibana console over here, and you see I have written a brute force logic. So it's quite simple logic. So I am just targeting the event action whenever is SSH login failure. So I just want to trigger a particular alert. Okay, so the rule is deactivated now, so I'm gonna activate right now. Okay, so before even doing that, so if I just quickly show you the last 1 hour logs from my FileBit instance, so just to check right whether anyone is anyone trying to brute force my machine which is open to the public. So I have just kept open to public so that people can try to brute force over it, right? So now you see the SSH login failures are coming. So there are logs are coming, and by the way, so this FileBit is installed on this particular box. Okay, so on where I am running the Shuffle. Okay, so you can anyway come to this particular section and you can go to the bits installation procedure. So we have written down it over here as well. So installation guide bits agent, so you can just follow along and the bits will be installed on your system, and you can see the logs that is coming from your bits agent, from your Linux agent to your Elastic SIEM. Okay, so that's very sweet of it. And now, so let's do some hunting and let's enable this particular rule over here. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna exit this particular screen from here, and so this is closed now, and I'm gonna try some brute force logic over here. But before even doing that, let me activate this particular rule. So it's just matter of some seconds or minute, so the rule will be activated, and it's now activated. Okay, so what we are gonna do over here, we are gonna simply run some brute force command. Okay, so I'm not gonna give it as a full connection, or I can write simple SSH and then IP address, because I just want to generate some failed login attempts, right? So maybe 1 or 2 something would be fine for me to generate some kind of alert. Yes, permission denied. So I will wait for some time because this rule runs in every 2 minutes. Okay, so once the alerts get triggered, so just let me show you that in my Hive alert. So you see there is only one alert and it just came in, guys. So you see the date over here. So that means if I go to this particular thing and if I do a quick refresh from here, so okay, so you don't see any alert over here, but it takes some time to load in this particular area. But you see there is like 100 attempts already over here. Okay, so if you open this particular thing up, if I just want to open and see the details over here, so you see there are IP addresses coming up over here, right? So people are attacking my server that is open to the public. Okay, so if you want to import this particular alert as a case, so you can do that. So Hive gives you that visibility. So I'm gonna just mark it as raid, and if I go back to the rule, so I'm gonna keep on refreshing because it will generate some alert very soon. And what we're gonna see here in the alert section, currently it's 0, right? So we will see some alerts that will be coming up over here. Okay, so, and we are gonna see it like how basically the full workflow actually works. Okay guys, so we are back in our alert section, and now if you see so it is like 2348, right? So we have run our SSH attempt just like 5 to 6 minutes back, and now if you see it is our user, right? So we are logged in from Black Pearl on that particular Ubuntu machine, and this was my IP address. So if I quickly show you what is my IP address, so you see this is my particular IP address from which I am logged in currently, and this is my ISP. And now if you see this particular SSHD attempt has been coming from my IP address, right? So my alert has triggered, and if I quickly show you the Hive console over here, just let me quickly refresh this because this alert section was previously 0, right? So it triggered a new alert over here. Okay, so if you see this particular thing and if you just open this particular SOC over here, so you see the observable has been added automatically. So I am just trying to add my IP address over here as an observable, but you can add multiple different observable as per your need. Like whatever you want to add, you can add anything like that. Okay, so this is the like a full case, and if I quickly cancel this particular thing up, so what else also we can do over here, so we can quickly go back to the dashboard section, and this is the like super kind of cool dashboard that you can create on Hive, and this particular thing gives you the probability of your SOC efficacy. Okay, so the like number of cases, number of alerts generated, and all those stuffs. Okay, so now let us quickly go back to our shuffle workflow. So you have seen how I have run the attack on SSH on my box and how it has triggered one particular alert. Okay, and hold on one second, one thing also I just want to show you quickly. So I have my Teams channel over here open. So now if you see, so this is kind of, you know, UTC alerts. Okay, so this particular thing has generated one SIEM like notification to my Teams channel. So you see it is my Black Pearl channel, and I have received one team message saying that okay, SSH brute force attack has generated one alert. Okay, so what basically thing is done already, so we have ran some SSH attack on my host. So that SSH attack was captured in the Elastic SIEM alert, and that alert has been incorporated automatically into the Hive case management solution. Okay, created one alert in Hive, and it has added the observable automatically in the Hive section. Right now you can create your workflow, you can create that as I shown you, right? You can create that particular thing to import a case as well, and you can run Cortex Analyzer as well. Okay, so now quickly go back to our workflow over here, what I'm gonna show you. So now you see how basically you can create this particular workflow. Okay, so it's very easy. So you go to shuffle, you go to this particular workflow section, you create this new workflow, you name it something like, I can name it like test or like demo. Okay, for this particular tutorial. Okay, so I'll submit, so it will create me a new workflow over here. Okay, Yes, it is loading. So once it is loaded, so you will see this particular thing already present over here. So this is a basic trigger that comes in any of the workflow. So how basically you can create? So you need to go to triggers. So you need to start your workflow somewhere, right? So you can pull down a webhook over here. So the webhook will be your action from where you basically want to create your workflow and whatnot. So if you come here to this particular webhook section, you will see that you can give anything like name or whatever maybe, and you can see the webhook URL they are giving it already over here. Okay, so you need to plug this particular URL, you need to copy this particular sucker on, and what you need to do, you need to go to the Elastic SIEM and you need to go to the connector over here. So if you go to the management, stack management, and there will be options like alerts, connectors and all those stuff. So you just need to add it up. So if you go to the rules and connectors and then connector, so you see I will have like Black Pearl, Steam, Shuffle and the Hive. So if you go to the Shuffle, you will see that this particular thing over here is having my previous workflow that I have created. This is my this was basically the previous webhook that I have created as part of my workflow, but you need to just copy this particular thing and you just need to paste it over here. Okay, so that as simple as that. So once that is done, so how basically you need to do, so you need to create something which will be a repeated loop, so that a Shuffle will store all of the data that is coming from your Elastic SIEM or whatever it may be. So you can mention it like repeat back to me, and in place of hello world you can mention simply execution argument. So that means whatever the execution argument is coming in the webhook, it will stored in the Shuffle and it will be carry forwarded to the next level, right? So what do I mean by carry forwarded? So if I go to the apps, let's say you want to create something like the Hive that I have created, right? So you can just search it quickly as Hive and you can just drag and drop this particular thing. And if you go to the Hive, so you just need to create your authentication. So I have shown you like in my previous video, like the first step of this SIEM tutorial, how you can create an API key of Hive, but you can leverage that and you can create simple API key of your Hive terminal, right? Now once that is done, so what you need to do, you need to give the action, right? So you need to find the action. So I want to create an alert. Now if you want to create it to directly to the case, you can do that as well, but for our workflow we wanted every alert coming out of Elastic created as an alert in Hive. Okay, so you can do that and you can just mention whatever the types, whatever the source and source reference. Okay, so for referring that, I will open my previous workflow and I'm gonna quickly show you what are the arguments that I have passed. So you have got already the idea, right? So you can keep on adding. Let's say you need a team, you can just simply add it over here. So you can, if you want to map it from here to here, so what you can do, you can quickly drag this particular thing and it will be connected. Okay, so it's as simple as that, right? So there is no fancy stuff, nothing is going on. So I'll quickly go back to my Shuffle and I will just quickly show you the Elastic that I have built and that I have given in my repo. Okay, so there are a lot of apps available. I believe it is somewhat like around 120 apps that you get, but you can anyway create your own apps as well. Okay, so what I am gonna doing over here, so I have already shown you. So I have authenticated my teams over here, and what I am pulling it over here, so I am just giving simple text message to my teams channel, and I am just giving the information that rule. So as you see, it is giving me the alert as like rule SSH brute force attack generated one alert. Okay, so this is a static symbol and this is my rule name, and this is also a static one, and this is also a dynamic value, right? So I am just taking my change me. So what is change me basically over here? So okay, so let me do one thing. Let me completely remove that particular sucker over here. So if I quickly run it as rule, now if you just put a autocomplete section, you will get whatever the previous node of your autocomplete section. So I am gonna get all of my data from this particular change me section, right? So you can add change me, and then you can do dot, and then you can mention whatever the information that you want to mention over here, right? So for my information, what I needed, so since it is a mustache kind of command, so what I need to do over here, so hashtag context then dot rule dot name, right? So it will give me the rule, it is a static value, then change me, and then context dot rule name. So whatever the value that I am getting in the change me as the context rule name, it will be simply dumping that value over here. Okay, so again you can mention like generated the number of alerts, right? So again you need to mention as like change me, then again you will be automated value over here, so like that, and then again context dot like how many number of alert, right? So alert dot numbers. Okay, now if you ask me like from where I am getting this value over here, so once you run this particular webhook, so once you run this particular thing, or from wherever you are getting this particular symbol, you will get that alert information over here. Okay, so let me quickly show you there as well. So if I quickly go over here to my Elastic security stack, if I go to the alerts quickly, yeah, so you see this is a particular thing over here, and now if you go back to this particular, you can do invest. So I'll create another episode focusing on this particular SIEM, but what I'm gonna do, like you can create more actions, or I'm gonna simply open this particular sucker up. Okay, so I'm gonna show you the table information. So these are the fields that is coming by default on your Elastic SIEM, and these all of the fields will be pulled automatically to your workflow in this particular change me section. Okay, so whatever information you are getting it over here, you can paste it or you can send it as this particular value to any of the message or any other fields that you want. Okay, so now the next parameter is pretty simple, as I told you. So I am just creating an alert. So these are the fixed symbol and the source reference. Remember, whenever you are creating any alert, the source reference has to be unique. Okay, so again I am putting is change me, and then I am giving the context alert, and I am giving the ID over here, so that it every time it's create a reference and new source reference, right? So if I show you in the Hive console, if I show you the alert, so you see the reference is changing every time. So if the references are same, so Hive will complain you that you cannot create alert because that is already present in the Hive, right? So that has to be the unique value. Okay, so so that's all about, right? So you can, like, again, if you want to create the Cortex analyzer, so obviously you will have a Cortex authentication token, and I have shown you in my previous video how you can create it. You can refer that and you can run the analyzer. Okay, so what I am doing here, I am running the analyzer, and in the next node I am just simply getting the result of that analyzer, and I am storing that result in this particular section. Okay, so if you want, what you can do, probably you can create another Teams node. You can come it over here, and what you can do, you can simply drag and drop and connect these two dots, and you can paste this particular thing. Okay, so send a simple message, and what it will be get analysis, right? So this was on a get analysis, then dot, so whatever variable it is getting passed over here, so you can paste the simple message over here, right? So what it will do, once your alert come in, so it will send it to shuffle, it will post a Teams message, it will send the alert directly to the Hive, it will add that observable, whatever the IP address, domain, user, anything you pass, you create a case, it will send you an email, it will run the analysis on Cortex, it will get the analysis, and it will post that result in your Teams channel as well, right? And it will post the observable message over here in the team. So what I am posting it over here, so I am simply posting it that observable, like the add observable, then IOC has been added to the alert. So this thing I am getting from this particular node, right? And here I am putting the simple Teams message that you have seen, right? Rule this has generated simple one alert, right? So yeah guys, so that's all about the workflow, right? So isn't it very much fascinating that whatever you could have done manually, using this SOAR like platform, you are able to build it like this, and it is so much simple. You just create your workflow, and the usage and the utility of the tool is so much easy that you can build on top of it, and you can create your own app. And this is the power of having an open source solution, right? So yeah, feel free to use it, and check out our Git repository. We are continuously updating it, and my team is working on that. And if you want us to help you to create this full setup, so feel free to reach out to us. We are happy to take as a freelance project, and we will gonna implement that for you. Okay, so that's all for today, and before even leaving, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to Black Pearl channel so that you can get all the notification whenever I upload some like this kind of really interesting videos, and you can get a right hand experience out of it. Okay, so yeah, I'll catch you guys next time, and stay healthy and happy new year.